Good morning and welcome to Morning Devotions. I'm Sister Bev, sitting in for Pastor Sumrall this morning. This morning I want to take you to Psalm 84, and we're looking at verses 10 and 11. But before we look at verses 10 and 11, I want you to look at something that's really important to look at when you're looking at the Psalms, and that is the title or the little blurb that's at the top before you actually start the psalm. And it says, for the choir director, that's the first instruction. And it says, well, the choir director, the Hebrew word there is nasa. For the nasa. That means for the brilliant musician. And I want you to realize that God's music is only entrusted in the Bible to brilliant people. People who are brilliant musically. And I have seen so many churches where I cannot say that is true, where I could say people just grab somebody who knows how to play a few chords on a guitar and says, here, you lead us in worship. That's not brilliant musician by any stretch of the imagination. On the other hand, I know a church really where they love the brilliant musician part. And so in order to conduct a choir in that church, you have to have a master's degree in music, but you don't necessarily have to be born again. Oh my goodness, brilliant musically, brilliant spiritually. So this psalm is entrusted only to be sung by people who are really qualified to lead worship. And then it says, it's a psalm of the sons of Korah. Now the sons of Korah, that means these are gatekeepers. Because once upon a time, when the Levites were first installed by David, there were no, here's the gatekeepers, here's the musicians, you know, the gatekeepers are the ushers, here's the musicians, here's those who will judge the people. It wasn't all divided up like that until David got really old. And that's a whole other story that we could be talking about, that when you're old, you can still make great decisions that will affect the future of what you have been working on all your life. But what I want you to see is that this psalm was written by one of the ushers. During that period of time when the ushers were making music and playing different instruments. Well, in verses 10 and 11 then, one of these ushers, one of these gatekeepers writes these words. A single day in your courts is better than 1,000 anywhere else. I'd rather be a gatekeeper in the house of my God than live the good life in the homes of the wicked. For the Lord God is our sun and shield. He gives grace and glory. The Lord will withhold no good thing from those who do what is right. So what is this gatekeeper, this usher saying? He's saying, I'm a gatekeeper. You know what? I'd rather be a gatekeeper in the house of my God than do anything else, than live some fancy life, than live the good life, than party with people. I don't want all that stuff. I want to be in God's house. It was just last weekend that Pastor preached to us from Genesis 35:1 that Jacob was supposed to settle in Bethel. He was supposed to settle. We're supposed to build our lives around God's house. And so you might be an usher and you might say, and I want you to say, I would rather be an usher in God's house than go live the good life anywhere else. Why? Because the Lord will not hold any good thing from those who fear him and those who trust him and those who do what is right. So whether you're a gatekeeper, an usher, you say, I'd rather be an usher than go do any partying in this world. Or if you're a choir member, I'd rather be a choir member in God's house than go live the good life somewhere else without him. I'd rather be a kids worker, whatever it is that you are. Say, I would rather be in God's house than anywhere else.